people out there who swear they on their game, and you done gave yourself all these high Egyptian names, and you think you got it all together. When I walked into this place, some of you all could not help but notice that I'm wearing this. And if I move it in closer to the camera, you might notice something about it that's a little different than anyone you've seen before. See, those of us who are honored to wear these, not just wear them as a piece of art, know what they mean. So I'm going to move this in a little closer to you so you can see what's on it. Those of you all who are educated, those of you all who actually know the teachings, those of you all who understand what you just seen should begin to know where I'm about to go with this. Because tonight, somebody's going to lose their religion, or they're going to find out that you're not as smart as you thought you was when it comes to this studying. And I warned you before, some of us have a fully functional pineal gland. So we think on 3 dimensions and a 4th one. Let me talk to you about the Ankh. Tonight we're going to talk about the Ankh. And then we're going to go somewhere else with the Ankh, because it's misunderstood, the Ankh. You see, most of you all will probably agree with me that you already know that the Ankh is one of the most recognizable symbols, and immediately you think it's ancient Egypt. Some of you all know that it's known as the key of life, or the cross of life. And they tried to go back and do research on it. They dated it way back somewhere around 3150 to 20-some BC, 2,500 years before Yeshua supposedly walked the earth. It's a cross with a loop. See the little loop right there, okay? And then sometimes you might see some symbols in here like I have in mine. Now, some people will say, well, it's a hieroglyph. It's a word for life. It's a word for the breath of life. God, you're not following me. It is the breath of life. How did Yahweh put breath into you? He blew the pneuma, that's Greek, for the breath. It is the breath of what? Life. I need you to hang on to that, because now I'm coming in your case. Now I'm about to get in your case. Now it was the Egyptians that believed that once your earthly journey was over, that was only part of your eternal life. The Ankh was supposed to symbolize your mortal existence and your afterlife. It's one of the most ancient symbols that's ever been seen. It's called the Djed. And most people have never heard of that, so they don't know exactly what we're talking about. And a lot of people associate it with the afterlife, that it was a potent symbol. Yes, it was. But now y'all got me twisted. You see, the Ankh's association with the afterlife was actually something that was adopted by these people called the Coptic Christians. In the 4th century, they took it as their own. Just like Hitler took a symbol and made it his own that meant something completely different. And now every time y'all see the swastika, y'all think about Nazis. That's not its original meaning. Go back and do your research. The original meaning of the Ankh was it was the breath of life. And then the Coptic Christians of Christ, which is a title, not a name, they took it upon themselves to make it their own. So that use of the Ankh as a symbol of Christ's promise of everlasting life through belief in this sacrifice and resurrection is the origin of the Christian use of the cross as a symbol of faith today. That's where it came from. Oh, somebody got upset already. I'm attacking your Christ. No, I'm not. I'm educating you on your Christ. You ain't gonna hear this in the slave master's church. Let me help you out one more time, since that went in and didn't stay in your mind. It was their use of the Ankh as a symbol of Christ's promise of everlasting life through belief in his sacrifice and resurrection. Is most probably and most definitely and has been proven to be the origin of the Christian use of the cross as a symbol of faith today. So I'm pretty sure somebody out there got one of these in their possession. Well, let's go ahead and dig into that. You see, the early Christians of Rome and everywhere else, they used that fertility symbol of the fish as a sign of faith. Y'all know that. We don't seen it. They would not have considered using the image of a cross because at the time a cross was a well-known form of execution. And any more than that's just like somebody today, you're going to choose to wear an amulet of an electric chair. The Ankh already symbolized as a symbol of eternal life. That means it was easy to assimilate that into early Christian faith and continue that as a religious symbol. This is another example of Egyptian African culture being absorbed. And to this day, you still asleep about it. Oh, y'all didn't want to hear that. Y'all didn't want to hear that. Y'all, they done fell out over that one. Because somebody done woke you up and let you know that that which you wear around your neck, that you swear by, you still need to hear a little bit more. So, since we can't seem to get past that, I now got to take it a little deeper. You see, I told you, we're talking about the comet, the cross, and the conversion. Oh, I haven't taught like this in a while, but tonight it is necessary because I see there are some learned Sadducees and Pharisees that think that they're learning this, that when someone comes along to give the message for real,
The Ankh is one of the most recognizable symbols from ancient Egypt, known as the Key of Life or the Cross of Life, and dating from the early dynastic period, c. 3150 to 2613 BCE. It is a cross with the loop at the top, sometimes ornamented with symbols or decorative flourishes, but most often simply a plain gold cross. The symbol is an Egyptian hieroglyph for life or breath of life, and, as the Egyptians believed that one's earthly journey was only part of an eternal life, the Ankh symbolizes both mortal existence and the afterlife. It is one of the most ancient symbols of Egypt, often seen with Ijtinwa symbols, carried by a multitude of the Egyptian gods in tomb paintings and inscriptions, and worn by Egyptians as an amulet. The Ankh's association with the afterlife made it an especially potent symbol for the Coptic Christians of Egypt in the 4th centuries, who took it as their own. This use of the Ankh as a symbol of Christ's promise of everlasting life through belief in his sacrifice and resurrection is most probably the origin of the Christian use of the cross as a symbol of faith today. The early Christians of Rome and elsewhere used the fertility symbol of the fish as a sign of their faith. They would not have considered using the image of the cross, a well-known form of execution, any more than someone today would choose to wear an amulet of an electric chair. The Ankh, already established as a symbol of eternal life, lent itself easily to assimilation into the early Christian faith and continued as that religion's symbol. Origin and meaning. The origin of the Ankh is unknown. The Egyptologist Sir Alan H. Gardner, 1879 to 1963, thought it developed from a sandal strap with the top loop going around one's ankle and the vertical post attached to a sole at the toe. Gardner came to his conclusion because the Egyptian word for sandal was nkh, which came from the same root as ankh, and, further, because the sandal was a daily part of an Egyptian's life and the Ankh symbol came to symbolize life. This theory has never gained wide acceptance, however. The theory of Egyptologist E. A. Wallace Budge, 1857 to 1934, who claims it originated from the belt buckle of the goddess Isis, is considered more probable but still not universally accepted. Wallace Budge equated the Ankh with the Tjet, the knot of Isis, a ceremonial girdle thought to represent female genitalia and symbolizing fertility. This theory, of the Ankh's origin stemming from a fertility symbol, is in keeping with its meaning throughout ancient Egyptian history and beyond to the present day. Egyptologist Wolfhard Westendorf, b. 1924, supports Wallace Budge's claim, noting the similarity of the Ankh to the Tjet and use of both symbols from an early date in Egypt's history. The Ankh has always been associated with life, the promise of eternal life, the sun, fertility, and light. Scholar Adele Nozader writes, "The volume of meaning that can be squeezed from such a simple symbol is awe-inspiring. The Ankh represents the male and female genitalia, the sun coming over the horizon, and the union of heaven and earth. This association with the sun means that the Ankh is traditionally drawn in gold, the color of the sun, and never in silver, which relates to the moon. Putting aside the complexities of these separate elements, though, what does the Ankh look like? Its resemblance to a key gives a clue to another meaning of this magical symbol. The Egyptians believed that the afterlife was as meaningful as the present one, and the Ankh provided the key to the gates of death and what lay beyond. Anubis or Isis are often seen placing the Ankh against the lips of the soul in the afterlife to revitalize it. It is for this reason that Ankh figures so prominently in tomb paintings and inscriptions. Deities such as Anubis or Isis are often seen placing the Ankh against the lips of the soul in the afterlife to revitalize it and open that soul to a life after death. The goddess Maat is frequently depicted holding an Ankh in each hand, and the god Osiris grasps the Ankh in a number of tomb paintings. The association